Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to go over a nice Middle Eastern fragrance from the house of Rasasi. And the name of that fragrance is Nebras al ISHQ. Now when this fragrance first came in, when I smelled it, I'm like, this kind of smells familiar. So I got it in the mail, applied it, and I'm like, this smells like a more refined version of another oil that I had. So I'm like, it was nice. So I let it settle down. Wore it about 2 days later. It smelled nothing like the first time that I smelled it. I'm like, man, this is crazy, because when I first smelled it, all I got was like a refined rose and some oud. Like the regular oud rose combo. So I decided to wear it again. I'm like, this is nothing like the first time I wore it. I'm gonna show you guys the presentation. It sits up in this little case. Now this is an oil version, but you unscrew it, and it's like this little stick. And how I apply it, I put the stick in, I take the excess off the edge, go one behind each ear, and then I go on my chest. And that's enough to give you a scent bubble, man, at least 3-4 feet. The proper way to apply this, you take the dab, you put it on your wrist, dab it up, and you go behind your ear. And that's enough to last me at least 10 to 12 hours. Now when you first apply this, you're gonna get this bright, sweet orange. It's almost like a tangerine note, it's so sweet. You're gonna get a zesty lemon, and you're gonna get a green note. Now the green note is it gives you a minty vibe at the beginning, but then it just settled down into just a regular leafy note. And then deep in the heart, that's when the rose gonna come through. Now the rose is only gonna stay about 5 minutes, but when I originally tried it on, the rose stayed throughout the fragrance. Then it gonna fade back in the back where it almost becomes faint. That's when you're gonna pick up on some amber that comes through. I'm telling you now, this fragrance is very complex. You're gonna have notes bouncing back and forth, so be prepared. So the amber comes from the base. That's when some floral notes of jasmine come through. Now the jasmine gonna last I'm gonna give it about 10 minutes. Then that gonna fade, it gonna disappear. Now all the while this is happening, you stuck with that green note throughout the fragrance. By this time, the orange note done faded back, almost disappeared. The lemon kind of comes back and forth along with that green note. That's when you're gonna get some amber that gives it some spiciness. The floral aspect of the fragrance is almost gone, but you still get a tiny bit of rose, just a tiny bit. It's kind of faint, but it's still there. Then the oud comes from the base. You get a leafy green, you get a lemon, you get some spices from amber. Then later on you get a tiny bit of cardamom that provides more spice. Now the cardamom gonna stay. You're gonna get patchouli and oud in the base, along with that green note. So by this time you stuck with amber, the green notes, you get hints of patchouli, then you get oud. Now the oud in this is kind of leathery, so I'm telling you, it's hard to explain, but this fragrance is very complex. It bounces back and forth. The price I paid, it was kind of expensive for what you're getting. You're getting like 6 milliliters of juice, which is all concentrated. It don't have any water, any alcohol, so all it takes is a dab and you're pretty much set throughout the day. Now in performance, this thing gonna last at least 10, 12 hours, even through the next day. The performance there is very well worth the price in my opinion. So it's definitely a unisex scent. I think the season is probably all seasons. And I think formal wear would do this right. I'm saying this right now, this is one of my better Middle Eastern fragrances out there. As of now, this is one of my better Middle Eastern fragrances. The complexity of it, the notes, it smells nothing like anything I own. Very unique. It's a rose, oud, leather with some citrus and fruits up top. Green, sweet, woody. If you get a chance, check it out. You can't beat it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that review. Please subscribe to the channel and I will see you soon. Peace.